A brand new season of Asian club football is upon us, and what better way to light the spark than here in Bandung at the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api Stadium. The atmosphere is electric and full of excitement. It's the opening chapter of Group B in the 2025-26 AFC Champions League Two campaign, and fate has again paired two familiar foes against each other as Persib Bandung and the Lion City Sailors collide in their quest for continental glory once more. Weather conditions here are pleasant for a game of football. We had quite a bit of rain last night and just earlier, but it's stopped for now. We are at a nice and cool 22 degrees here in the capital of West Java, about 150 kilometers southeast of Jakarta. It sits on a plateau surrounded by mountains, giving it cooler weather than many other Indonesian cities. Cool heads will be needed tonight in what could be a heated affair based on the previous fixtures between these sides. This is a fascinating group with four Southeast Asian teams competing against each other for a place in the next stage of the competition. We have teams from Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia and Singapore. And aside from the clubs we have kicking off here this evening, comes to football in this part of the world. The triad of top sides from Southeast Asia in this group fighting it out on the pitch for pride and glory, while their fans compete off it in their attempts to push their teams on. And what a group of supporters they have here in Bandung. Ivan Sushak in your picture, the goalkeeper who's just come in for this campaign with the Lion City Sailors, providing competition for Izwan Mahmud, the Singapore international, who's normally the #1 for the club. Sian Denge, another new signing. Safwan Barudin on loan from Selangor, also there in your picture. Mark Klock will be leading out the side of Persib. They too have made lots of moves in the transfer window. We had a look earlier at Sadil Ramdhani and Eliano Reinders in the starting 11. More on that in just a little bit. Both sides in action tonight will know how important every point is in what will be a tightly contested group. Thailand's Bangkok United and Malaysia's Selangor FC amongst the contenders as well. Victory tonight could go a long way in shaping their path towards qualification. Far more than bragging rights up for grabs. It is more than just about football in the region. It's also about making an impact on the continental stage and finding success in one of the great tournaments of Asian football. And that may be something for further along down the road, but the journey begins here. It is a formidable venue, the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api, which translates to the Bandung Sea of Fire Stadium, a nod to the city's historical Bandung Lautan Api incident in 1946. Parts of the city were deliberately burned in an act of defiance during Indonesia's independence struggle. It is a venue which carries the spirit of resistance and passion. Opened in 2013, a capacity of 38,000. This is where Persib play their home matches. It is known for its excellent pitch visibility and the sheer volume of noise that the Persib fans, also known as Bobotoh, generate inside it. And here they come. They'll be greeted by that wall of noise here at the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api. When Persib play here, the stadium becomes an absolute cauldron. Bobotoh famed for their choreography, chants and unrelenting support, making it one of the most intimidating grounds for visiting teams in Indonesia and beyond. So the home side will want to use every ounce of energy from the stands to propel them forward at a venue which they returned to in November of last year, following on from some renovations that were done. Klopp full of focus. He has been an outstanding signing for this club and a great leader for this team. So much quality out there on both these sides. Persib Bandung have a proud history in Indonesian football, and they'll see the continental campaign as the perfect stage to showcase their quality. For the Lion City Sailors, it's a tough away trip to start their campaign, but they have been to this city previously, albeit a different venue. Came away with a point in a 1-1 draw, with that game taking place at the Sijalak Harupat Stadium, which is about 30 kilometers away by road from here. Singaporean side going into half-time, a goal down that occasion after Tyrone scored the opener for Persib. A reward for their dominance in the first half. The Sailors responded with an equalizer through Bailey Wright shortly after the restart to take a precious point on the road on that occasion. It was a result that was part of a historic campaign as they made a glorious run to the final in last season's competition. They lost to Sharjah in the main event, but it was a campaign which showed them and everyone watching what they are capable of. They will be hungry for more this season as they strive to go all the way to the title this time around. Well, let's have a look at the lineups, beginning with Persib, who have made 3 changes from their last outing on the domestic front. Julio Cesar comes into the defensive line to add experience in place of Kakang Rudianto. Further forward, Eliano Reinders makes his first start since joining the club, while Sadil Ramdhani also gets a chance to impress in the starting 11. Plenty of quality on there, the likes of Adam Alis and Beckham Putra available on the bench for Boyan Hoda if he needs to use them. Syrian match referee for this one, Hana Hatab. This is the 5th AFC Champions League 2 match of his career. He had 4 group matches last season. He has also refereed at the AFC Asian Cup, the AFC Cup, and the AFC Champions League Elite. Hana Hatab will be assisted by Muhammad Kazaz and Amjad Al-Khalil, 4th official Amar Abo Alo. The Lion City Sailors have made 3 changes to their side for this fixture from their last game in the domestic league. Ivan Sushak starts in goal ahead of Izwan Mabut. Safwan Bahrudin comes into the side to add his experience to the back line. Huri Pirej is another who comes into the 11 to add steel to the midfield. Song Yong, number 15, is one to keep an eye on, also available on the bench for Alexander Rankovic if required. Keep a lookout for Maxime Lestien and Bart Ramsala in that forward line for the Lion City Sailors. Plenty of pace and individual quality that they have up front to change the game. Anderson Lopez, a great goal scorer when it comes to Asian football, leads the line for the Sailors. Hasn't been the best of starts for him. He is still looking for his first goal for his new club. Good attendance here at this venue. A nice energy in the crowd ahead of this fixture. We are just seconds away from kickoff. Welcome along to the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api Stadium. It's match day 1 in Group G of the 2025-26 AFC Champions League 2 campaign. And we have Persib of Indonesia in the blue, going from left to right on your screens, getting us underway up against the Lion City Sailors, playing the all-white, going from right to left. City Sailors of Singapore, regional rivalry in this group. Thailand's Bangkok United and Malaysia's Selangor FC making up the 4 teams in Group G. Pleasant weather conditions here for a game of football. Nice and cool, 22 degrees Celsius here in the capital of West Java. Had a bit of rain over the last few days, and we had quite a bit of rain yesterday during the training session. Skies have cleared up for the moment, but be quite a bit of fresh surface water, a little bit of surface water, which will help move the pace of the game along very nicely. William Barrios is taken down, first free kick on the way of Persib. They want to start quick at a good tempo and impose themselves on the Lion City Sailors from the get-go. Fouled by Diogo Costa. Left wing back for the Lion City Sailors, Diogo Costa, 22-year-old. There is Boyan Hodak, 54-year-old coach. It's his 81st match in charge of Persib. He's had such a successful coaching career, knows the region well. 2 domestic titles for his club. Also led Kuala Lumpur City to the AFC Cup final in 2022. Let's play in low. Get that away. Decision is a handball. That is Alexander Rankovic, head coach of the Lion City Sailors. It's his 84th match as the head coach. Has won 2 Singapore Cup titles and the Singapore Premier League title last season. It is his longest stint as a head coach. Both head coaches are former players themselves. Hodak was a central defender in his time. Rankovic, a central midfielder, played most of his football in Netherlands. Anderson Lopez looking to get involved early on. Struggled to get service into him at times on the domestic front. Here is Bailey Wright. Plenty of experience in this Lion City Sailors setup. They've gone with a lot of experience this difficult away trip. Here's Spad Ramsala. In possession, can receive under pressure, takes it away from that pressure. It's a good recovery challenge from Franz Boutros. He's a pretty versatile defender, playing on the right hand side for this fixture. Ramsala cuts inside, puts one into the box. Nobody really attacking the far post in a white shirt, so it's been put out. For a corner by Federico Barba. A host of new signings. Is Barba, 32-year-old central defender, former Italy under-21 international. Going to have to be switched on from these restarts, Persib. Sailors are very good on the transition. That's Maxime Lestien. Being headed away by Barba. Barros. William Barros gets it forward. Sadil Ramdani. Very explosive winger is Sadil. Tricky and difficult to deal with. Tiano Goycochea. The run from deep in support. Had a short spell as an assistant head coach at Shandong in China. Also former PSM Makassar head coach. Costa initially joined the club from Malicao, Portuguese side, on loan. Made the move permanent. The summer transfer window. Signed a 5-year contract for the Lion City Sailors. Portuguese fullback. Siendenge. Another new signing for the Singapore champions. Quite clear what the message is from the referee. Ana Hatab, he's saying no more. That's their first and last warning. Matricardi. Central defence alongside Barba. Barba actually pushing out onto the left, so he's playing at the left back position for this one. Putros playing at right back. Matricardi and Julio Cesar in those central defensive positions. A switch around here for Persib. Julio Cesar didn't start the last league game, so it was Barba and Matricardi at centre back. Kakang Rudianto playing at right back, and Franz Putros at left back for Persib. Number 55 for the Indonesian side, showing his versatility. Franz Putros, Iraqi international. Here's Goycochea. He's forming a strong partnership with Klopp in central midfield. Putros goes down quickly by Costa. Can't prevent the corner. Change up in the set-piece routine. Now to Franz Putros. Here's Sadil. Those tries to accelerate away from Diogo Costa. Potential to be a really good battle down that side of the pitch. Both players very quick, really fast. Sadil is the sort of winger who loves to excite. Take on the opposition defender. Pushed out away from the area. Same setup with that corner routine. Putros sees his cross blocked. Have to go back to the goalkeeper, Teja Paku Alam, just to recycle. Matricardi onto Barba. For that reverse pass, a run of Reinders. Safwan Baharudin on loan at the Lion City Sailors from Selangor. It's told by the club that he wasn't required for the season. They made a pretty public plea to clubs in Singapore. He needed to move on and away from Selangor. Lion City Sailors deciding they could make good use of a player like him. Plenty of quality and experience. And Cesar puts it forward, taken down by William Barros. Just in behind Ramon. He's leading the line for Persib. William Barros is the sort of player who can drift into very dangerous areas across the forward line. Been played through, and they stay down. Goes up eventually. Sadil Rabdani. on the right earlier, now he's on the left. He's well offside. Yeah. That's pretty poor awareness from Sadil Ramdani, looking right across the line. A little bit too excited, perhaps. Get himself into that position. 26-year-old Sadil. Most of his club football has actually been played in Malaysia. And he's back in Indonesian football after 4 years with Sabah in the Malaysian Super League. Barros took forward to Reinders. His attempt was blocked by Bailey Wright. Possession stays with Persib. Clock, the ball into the box. Sadil chips one in. Danger here for the Singapore side. Bailey Wright, the defensive header. As far as Barba. Sadil sees his cross blocked by Safwan. That's going to be fascinating as well, seeing Safwan playing at right back for the Lion City Sailors. The last time he played in that position, it was all the way back when he was playing for Melbourne City as a much younger player. Safwan Baruding turning 34 next Monday. There's always that question with Safwan Baruding of what his career could have been had he actually stayed in Australia with Melbourne City. He was getting regular minutes at the club. Perez, the Portuguese central midfielder for the Lion City Sailors, developed at FC Porto. Has to keep it very simple in possession, Rui Perez. Decide for his defensive awareness and physicality in central midfield. It's Ivan Shusak. Dankovic, who's been an excellent signing for the Lion City Sailors. He's played quite a bit of his club football in the second division of the Spanish league. It gives them some versatility as well. There's Dankovic. He's playing on the left-hand side of a back three last season. The Lion City Sailors are set up with 5 across the back in this competition on their run to the final. It was a tactical setup that worked really well for them. Going with a similar setup here, 5-4-1 without the ball. It's a formation that switches into a back 4 with Haris Harun stepping in and out of central midfield. Has that capacity to play in central defense, Haris. Safwan has to step out. Goes down Sadil. A coach as well, who's quite comfortable switching his formations around when required, go with a back 5 or a back 4. We've seen mostly the back 4 from Persib Bandung this season. Indonesian international Mark Klok, 32-year-old midfielder, go box to box. Costa. Perez gets it away from Sadil Ramdani. Finds an outlet in Bailey Wright onto Safwan. Yes, Lestien is to drop very deep to get involved. Straight to Klopp. There's some early pressure. Here are the Lion City Sailors. Into Perez, Ramsala, Jonto Lopez has to make it stick, loses it under pressure. Cesar was who took it away from his fellow Brazilian. It's Barba. Central defender. Can play at left back. Very tall for a fullback. Shades of Jacinto Facchetti from a long, long time ago. Sadil Ramdani looking for the free kick. Referee wasn't interested in his appeals. There were two dramatic encounters between these clubs last season, aside from a 1-1 draw, which also saw a player from each side sent off. There was a 5-goal thriller at the Jalan Besar Stadium in the return fixture in Singapore. First time ball in is a good one. Franz Putros, energetic run down that right-hand side. Going Kechea, couldn't quite get onto the end of it. Try and use the width, Persib. Very lively in possession, nice and quick with the way that they're moving the ball. Marlon Lopez. This time around it was Matricardi committing the offense. The referee could have taken his pick, really. Would have been a foul on Ramselaar there as well. Here's Datkovic. Very comfortable, carrying it forward through the lines. Out from the back, Costa. First time ball is a decent one. Needed to be dealt with. It was by Julio Cesar. Datkovic puts it out for a throw. That 3-2 win for Persib in Singapore was an incredible game of football. The Lion City Sailors had control of large parts of that fixture. Scored in the 9th and 23rd minutes thanks to Shaul Anwar and Maxime Lestienne. They were hardly threatened until the final 15 minutes. And Persib made a few changes, gave it a big push, get themselves back into the contest. It was a match that they had to win to stay alive in the competition at that stage. Scored 3 excellent goals. Turned the game around. 2 of the 3 goals coming in the 3rd and 5th minute of added time. All 3 of their goal scorers from that fixture, David da Silva, Matteo Kochian and Teron, no longer with the club. Danger here for the Sailors, could be the opening goal. Costa gets across it and puts it out. That is brilliant from Diogo Costa. As that run from outside in. Sadil Ramdani, all he had to do was tap that in. Set up by William. He couldn't get the finishing touch on it. Brilliant piece of defending from Diogo Costa. Got caught out initially by that run of William Barros, but he made up for it, Costa. A recovery challenge. Easy for Sushak. Sailors having to hang on under pressure. Quick release for Lestienne. As Reinders for company. Too much on that for Anderson Lopez to keep in play. Looking for more organisation. There's Rankovic, and more compactness in his side. Could be an issue for Lopez. Injured himself as he went sliding to try and hang on to possession. Quite see what the issue was. He's felt his ankle. Maybe his Achilles. Directions being provided by Boyan Hodak. He'll be pretty pleased, I think, with what he's seen from his side so far. Persib, back-to-back champions of Indonesia. An impressive title win last season, following on from their championship success in the previous campaign as well, to qualify for consecutive editions of this competition. Lost just 3 games in the league on their way to the title. They are favourites to make it a hat-trick of domestic championships as well. The amount of work they've done to strengthen the squad for this season. Here's William Barros. Goikachea. Clock. First 2 shots of the match, both going to the home side. That's Clock. Goikachea. Passing it pretty comfortably through the lines in midfield. Persib. And that's putting pressure on the Sailors' defence. It's Reinders with the effort. Good save at the near post from Ivan Susa. Reinders, the brother of Manchester City midfielder Dejani Reinders. His first start for Persib since joining the club at the end of August. So we played in by Clock. Dengue with the header. It's back down to Goikachea, easy for Susa. 2 more shots added to the tally in quick succession for Persib. Referee just having a word with Ramon. 7-year-old Brazilian centre forward Ramon Andrade de Souza, to give him his full name. The player who's just joined the club, scoring goals for fun in Cambodia last season with Visaka. 21 goals in 28 appearances in the league. Prior to that was playing in the Austrian second division. It's his first appearance in continental football for Ramon. Target man up front for Persib. Tres gets in the way. Safon with the header. Goikachea. Letting it down into Bailey Wright. So quick on the press here, Persib as well. No sitting back from the Indonesian side. Attacking as a unit. That's that compactness. When they lose it, switched on and they want to counter press quickly. There they go. There's just no space for the Lion City Sailors to play out from the pressure that they're under at the moment. Persib will be keen on making this pressure count. Sadil out to Barba. Cesar. Goikachea is looking very lively in central midfield. Nice and mobile. So Luciano Goikachea. The cousin of Liverpool's Alexis McAllister. Respect to Safwan. Some space for Perez to work with in central midfield now. Ramzala touched on first time to Lopez. Good to see that he's fit enough to continue. Quite happening in the early stages of this contest for Anderson Lopez. Clock, born in Amsterdam, began his career in Utrecht. He's played in Bulgaria, Scotland and England before moving to Indonesia in 2017 to play for PSM Makassar. Spent 3 years there and then another at Persija before joining Persib in June of 2021. Here he is in possession again. Referee plays the advantage. They get the switch out onto the left. Barba. Clock. This is Clock's 15th AFC Club competition appearance. There's 3 goals scored. All those 3 goals coming in PSM's AFC Cup campaign of 2019. Harris. Harun, a 34-year-old, just coming back from injury, just like Bailey Wright. And their way back into the Lion City Sailors starting 11 in their last domestic fixture against Palace and Khalsan, the Singapore Premier League. Convincing 5-0 win for the Lion City Sailors. Challenge in on a Bailey Wright from Ramon. Another foul, this time on Harris. Just deciding that a talking to is sufficient for Sadil. Right decision from the referee. So forward by Bailey Wright. Well, they just need a spell of possession. The away side. Something to relieve the pressure that they're under. This one for Sadil Ramdani to chase. Gain some territory here, will Persib. Many of their key players from last season have moved on. They have replaced them with several talented recruits. They're keen on making their own impact with the club. Along with the goal scorers from last season's matches between these teams, the likes of Gustavo Franca, Ciro Alves and Dimas Drajan also leaving Persib. And in their place, they've added a strong South American influence to the squad, bringing in 5 Brazilians, 2 Argentines. Dengue is on the books of Borussia Mönchengladbach as a younger player. Didn't make his professional breakthrough at a senior level with Mönchengladbach. Formerly on the books with Bayer Leverkusen as well. Soft Bayer Leverkusen, I should say. That's a Dengue. Into Perez. Ramsala. Lopez. That's better from the Singaporean champions. Perez. Right. Big diagonal. Almost a rugby style kick into touch, which means the Lion City Sailors can push forward deep into the opposition half. Brought it back. High up the pitch, Lestien gives it straight away to Matricardi. Sadil Ramdani. It's down in need of some treatment. Safwan. It's going over on the top of the foot of Sadil Ramdani. Making his first appearance in the AFC Champions League Two. For Persib in the group stage. 6 caps for Indonesia at senior level for Sadil. Hasn't been part of the squad for a while now. We're looking for a return. There's a much changed Indonesia national team side. The recruitment of the heritage players. It's been quite an aggressive recruitment of heritage players. It's a step that has been good for them to make. The World Cup dreams are still alive. Back in the here and now. And City Sailors have been able to quieten down the crowd just a little bit. Have known coming into this fixture that it was always going to be a tough one. Foul on Goycochea. Boca Juniors youth player Ciano Goycochea. He's played in Turkey and Colombia as well. Was previously with Perak in Malaysia. Before moving to Persib in July of this year. 33-year-old, still full of running, full of energy. He was sent off in their last league match against Persebaya at the weekend. A 1-0 win for Persib. Have won both their league matches at home this season. Didn't win a home match in the AFC Champions League 2 campaign last time out. Draw with the Sailors here. Defeats the other two sides in the group, Port FC of Thailand and Zhejiang of China. It's Costa. Perez. Lopez. Looking a lot better for the Lion City Sailors now. That intensity in possession from Persib has just died down a little. There's Lopez. There's Ramsala in the area. And again, you do feel that Anderson Lopez has to be a lot stronger in those situations. Going down far too easily. A couple of occasions now. That was easy for Goycochea to deal with. Lopez recently celebrating his 32nd birthday. 3 days ago. Joining Lion City Sailors from Yokohama F. Marinos. Frustration for Sadil. Pass into him was overhit. Picked up by Ramsala. Given space to turn. found Haris Harun, who made the run forward. Julio Cesar is having to slide that out for a throw-in to the Lion City Sailors. Cesar, the 30-year-old, who's not a new signing, who's already become a key member of the squad. Joined in July after a short spell in Thailand with Chiang Rai United. The officials not interested in the appeals for a free kick. It's Klopp under pressure. Gets away from Ramzala. And Perez. Might have been a handball there as well from Rui Perez. Just as Klopp scooped it in behind the two of them. It's Reinders. An effort earlier this first half, but otherwise hasn't really been given an opportunity to get involved too much. 24-year-old brought in alongside Tom Hay at the end of August. 5 caps for Indonesia. Developed in the Netherlands with FC Twente, and then PSV Zwolle, where he made his professional breakthrough at senior level. 107 Eredivisie appearances to his name. Will be a player that will add lots of quality to the squad here at Persib. On a corner to defend for the Lion City Sailors. Ndenge. Enough pressure on Julio Cesar. Gets the header flicked away. Throw in for the Indonesian side. Sputros for options, gets one in the form of Reinders. City Sailors squeezing that space, squeezing Persib out into that sideline. Stankovic. William Barros. Lopez. Ramzala. Have speed on the break. So do Persib. Getting players back. So blue shirts in there on the defensive transition. Lestien. Pearson turns away. It's a poor punch from the goalkeeper, Paku Alam. It's bailed out by his defense momentarily. Costa. Lifts one into Lestien. He wants a corner. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. Saying there was a touch on its way out. Not good for Persib Bandung. Clock going down with an injury. This was the challenge. I wonder if he might have just overstretched his groin. He's already got some tape on the inner thigh on the left leg. Might have been an issue for him coming into this match. And, he's getting some spray instead on the right side of the hip rather than the inside of the thigh. Another look at this opportunity for the Sailors. Very unconvincing goalkeeping from Paku Alam, who hasn't had much to do at all. Regular starts for Persib in the absence of Adam Prisbeck. They signed initially to be their number one. Hold on, just waiting for the signal from his physios, just so he knows if Mark Block is going to be okay. something serious for Mark Klopp to want to come off. He's such a key player for the side. Recently made his return to the Indonesian team as well. He has 20 caps for the country, along with 5 goals, after receiving his Indonesian citizenship in November of 2020. Scored just 1 goal for Persib in the league last season, but collected 7 assists. He's back on, getting close to half-time here as well, so it might be worth it for Persib to just give him these 5 minutes or so, go into the locker room at the break and provide him some more treatment if required. Offside is the call on Ramon. So after a lively start from Persib, after putting the Lion City Sailors under quite a bit of pressure, it's just fizzled out a little as this half has gone on. They've had their efforts at goal, they've had their attempts. Nothing that's really troubled Ivan Sushak just yet. Sushak, if they get into the break, the clean sheet intact, it's something he'll be pleased with. Hasn't had a great start to his career with the Lion City Sailors, as Sushak conceded 8 goals in his first 3 appearances for them. Brought in to strengthen the side and compete with the Izwan Mabud. Izwan, who started in goal in the Singapore Premier League game against Balestier Khalsa at the weekend, but it's Sushak who gets the nod, back in the team once more. Right, back to the 2-meter-tall Croatian goalkeeper, joined in July from Slaven Belupo. He's played most of his career in Croatia. Collected comfortably by Julio Cesar. Possession with Persib. Clock is asking for the change. So he isn't going to be able to make it to half-time. Assistant referee on this near side didn't like that challenge from Costa on Frans Boutros. It's a 32-year-old Frans Boutros. Got to the ball ahead of Costa. Turned away, he knew the contact was coming. So Hodak is going to have to make that change. Find a replacement. 4 o'clock. Does have Tom Hay on the bench. Suspect that that might be the player who will come on to replace Mark Klopp. There you go. Indeed it is. That's a change which makes a lot of sense. Tom Hay, almost like for like in central midfield. It's another very experienced player, 30-year-old Tom Hay. 15 caps for Indonesia. Debut for them. The 26th of March 2024 against Vietnam in the qualifiers. The ball's whipped in by Sadel. Mark Klopp getting a nice round of applause from the home support. Very popular figure here is Klopp. Back on the pitch, Ramon trying to get away from Haris Harun. It's good defending from the Lion City Sailors. Sadel. Bokachea, clean challenge from Costa. This time around the Sailors can break, and Dengue. Got Costa to his left, uses him. Ramsala ahead of him, wants to pass. And it should have been a simple pass into Ramsala from Costa. Not the best of decisions from Diogo Costa. Could have just released Hamzala with a lighter touch. It's Tom Hay. Minimum of 3 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. And Hay, just like a number of members of the Indonesian national team these days, was a Netherlands youth international from under 15 to under 21 level. As Ramon get into the opposition box. Well-timed challenge from Bailey Wright. Australian international, central defender, 29 caps for his country. He's part of their squad at 2 FIFA World Cups. Hasn't actually retired from international football. Still available if they decide to call him up. Shot again, this time it's a Tom Hay. Possession will go to the Lion City Sailors. Painful one for Julio Cesar and Cian Dengue. Dengue flicks it on, wins the throw. €21 Patricio Matricardi. Came through with Argentinos Juniors as a young player. It was the same club that produced Diego Maradona. Made his debut there. Also developed Juan Roman Riquelme and Fernando Redondo. Dengue, lovely touch from Cian Dengue. Lestien in a more central position. Lopez, flag had gone up for offside anyway. Taken quickly. Not quick enough as the referee blows for half-time. Match which started a lot of pressure on the Lion City Sailors defence. Persib Bandung with the early chances and the opportunities. Trying to test Ivan Susak and put the Sailors under pressure in the first 20-25 minutes or so, but then the Lion City Sailors withstood that and slowed the pace of the game down, and that attacking intensity just fizzled out from Persib Bandung. No goals at halftime. It's Persib 0, the Lion City Sailors 0. Welcome back to the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api Stadium for this Group G fixture in the AFC Champions League Two between Persib Bandung of Indonesia and the Lion City Sailors of Singapore. Just ahead of this second half between these two sides. It's the first half that was dominated possession-wise by Persib, 60% to the Sailors 40. Persib with 4 efforts at goal in the opening 45 minutes, 2 of those on target. Sailors yet to manage an effort at goal. So in terms of it being an away fixture, because the cliche in football is that if you can pick up a point on the road, you've done a good job. Let's see if they change things up and go a little bit more attacking in this second half. We're back underway at the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api Stadium in Bandung. Lovely conditions for a game of football. A nice playing surface as well. Beautiful city. And it's Persib playing in the blue. From right to left on your screens for this second half. Lion City Sailors of Singapore playing in the all-white. In possession now. Siendenge. No shots at all in that first half from the Lion City Sailors. Managing this 40% possession. They were under quite a bit of pressure in the opening 25 minutes of this contest. They withstood that pressure pretty well. And then that intensity in attack from Persib just sort of fizzled out a little bit as the first half went on. Sailors were pretty pleased going into the break with the clean sheet intact. As Lopez. Dengue trying to release Ramselaar, passes behind him, which means Persib can get it clear. Perez cleans up at halfway for the Lion City Sailors. Here's Sadil. Mistake from the Sailors, about to be punished, and it is! Sadil Ramdhani with an excellent goal. An early goal in this second half. A perfect start for Persib. A mistake from the Lion City Sailors at the back from Datkovic. A loose pass right across the pitch. And Sadil, quick as a flash, pouncing on it and punishing the Sailors with power on that drive. Ivan Shusak, though, will be wondering if he could have done better with the save at the near post. Goalkeeping coaches will tell you that shots close to the keeper's legs are the toughest to save. But he got a hand to that. And he will feel he should have kept that one out. A great start to this second half for Persib. It's Sadil Ramdhani with the goal. His first in this competition. The first for Persib in this season's campaign. The Lion City Sailors, who held firm in that first half, now have to open up and look for a way back into this one. Last season's 1-1 draw in Bandung. AFC Jalak Harupat Stadium. Was Persib who scored the first goal of that match. Towards the end of the first half, Lion City Sailors responded with an equalizer through Bailey Wright early on in the second. Characteristic mistake from Tony Datkovic, who's normally very reliable in possession. Stolen it again. Here comes Persib. Ramon is trying to find William Barrios. A wonderful noise, the roar here at this venue when that went in from Sadil Ramdhani. He was delighted with that goal, was Sadil. the kind of quality he has. His first goal for Persib as well. Just the 1 assist in his 3 Indonesia Super League appearances this season for Sadil. Was kept on the bench against Persebaya at the weekend. Nice and fresh for this fixture as Ramselaar is fouled. Former Utrecht PSV Eindhoven player, but Ramselaar, a 29-year-old. Julio Cesar looking to organize that back line. Lestien with the delivery. Out to Ramselaar. Hey with the block is Sadil. Perez. Tarkovic. Safwan drops to receive. Gets it from right. Frustrating goal to concede from the Lion City Sailors' perspective. And Lopez straight offside. That's poor from Lopez. Again, he's looking right across that line. Wealth of experience in Asian football. Anderson Lopez has played in Japan, Korea Republic, and the People's Republic of China. 18 goals in 25 AFC Champions League elite matches for the Brazilian. He scored 9 goals in 10 appearances in that competition last season. He also played a starring role in the Marinos' run to the final of the 2023-24 AFC Champions League campaign. And finished as the J1 League's top scorer in back-to-back seasons in 2023 and 2024. It's just not quite happening for him. Very early days yet in his career with the Lion City Sailors. There's Perez. Ramselaar. He's inside to Haris Harun. AFC Cup winner in 2015 with Jodar Takzim. Safwan. Lestien. Throws it into Lopez, who was looking for the flick on. No foul. From Darkovic. Costa. Sent a great ball in. Hesitation there. Ryan and Haris Harun trying to sort it out between themselves as to who was actually going to deal with that. Has won the free kick. Ramon with the challenge. Studs at the top of the boot of Bailey Wright. So initially, when he joined the Lion City Sailors in July of 2023, didn't get to feature too much due to injuries impacting his early days at the club. He also had a couple of suspensions to deal with, so it was a bit of a rough start to life at the club for Wright, but things have been brilliant for him since then. This one is 8th AFC Club competition appearance, 2 of those appearances in the AFC Champions League. Apologies, his 14th AFC Champions League 2 appearance, this one. Played on 13 occasions last season, did Wright, scored 1 goal. That was against Persib. That's Costa. Back to Darkovic. Safwan. Persib Bandung with this lead, quite happy to let The Lion City Sailors have possession in these areas of the pitch. As Harris up to Lestien. Dengue was last playing for Grasshoppers in the Swiss top flight. Played for Luzerne before that. Goal kick is the call. Well, they're pretty solid defensively. Lion City Sailors up until that error from Darkovic. Just made the most of by Sadel Ramdani. Didn't show too much in attack in that first half, and gonna have to find a way to get into that attacking rhythm in this second. Touched on by Hay. Then by William Barros into Ramon, who couldn't hang on to it. Haris Harun. Darkovic. It's from Lopez. Not a bad idea. Changing it up with the longer pass. Handled by Paku Alam. Sadil. 55% possession for Persib. Sadil. It's away from Sien Dengue. Celestien. Too quick, too strong for the first challenge of Patricio Matricardi. The Tom Hay. There with the second one. It's Luciano Goicoechea. Fiery character. He was sent off against Persibaya at the weekend. Lestien is not engaging with Goicoechea. He's instead looking at the officials and saying there was an elbow. Anderson Lopez is getting involved as well. Look at this. Goicoechea went in with his touch showing, but got all of the ball. I wonder if Lestien is saying there was something else that happened after that. Goicoechea, who is a pretty strong source of goals in the Malaysian top flight. Let's have a look at this. It's after that goes through. Nudge in the back. There's no contact there at all from Goicoechea. It's a raised arm, but it's nothing. Just reacting to that nudge in the back from Lestien. He was looking to make the most of it. There's Captain Harris in attendance. He's telling his Belgian teammate to calm it down. 22-year-old Belgian winger who has started the domestic season in great form. Lestien with 3 goals in his 2 league appearances. He's got 5 goals and picked up 7 assists in his 13 AFC Champions League Two appearances last season. Scored against Persib in a 3-2 defeat at Jalan Besar Stadium, and he also scored in the final against Sharjah. Big moment for Singapore football. That goal from Lestien, getting the Sailors level at 1-1. Sharjah going on to score a late winner to take the title. Harris. Barrios, 20-year-old Brazilian, played in Kuwait prior to his move to Persib. Also played in Saudi Arabia for a couple of seasons before that. Scored the winning goal. The AFC Champions League Two preliminary round match against Manila Digger. 1 win for Persib. Get them into the group stage of this competition. It's Ramon. Great and intensity up front, under pressure on the Lion City Sailors as they try to play their way out from the back. Perez. Ramsala. Leonard D getting ready to come on. City Sailors top scorer in the league from last season. Leonard D going to compete with Anderson Lopez. Anderson Lopez, who's been given the starts since coming in ahead of Leonard D. Leonard D, who came on for Lopez in that match against Balestier Khalsa in the Singapore Premier League. Got a goal for himself on that occasion, trying to make the most of the minutes that he's been given by Alexander Rankovic. It'll be fascinating to see if he does come on for Lopez, or if the Sailors decide to be a little bit more attacking. Foul on Ramsala. Referee doesn't think so. He's capable of changing the game for the Lion City Sailors and making things happen with his quality. Ramsala, perhaps a little bit unlucky. He didn't get the decision there. He has 20 goals and 18 assists. 47 appearances for the Lion City Sailors. This is appearance number 48 for Bart Ramsala in all competitions for this club. So Leonard D is going to be playing up front with Anderson Lopez. It looks like Haris Haron is the player who's going to be coming off. Have a look at the opening for Siendenge. Confirmation of that change. Haris Haron, come back to it. So have a look at this attack from Persib. Lestien, lovely ball from Ndenge to Lestien. Sailors into the box. What a challenge. Julio Cesar and sliding in to keep that one out. Stretched in that change. With Leonard D coming on. Haris Haron, who scored the first goal for the Lion City Sailors last season's AFC Champions League 2 campaign. It was a long-range strike against Zhejiang. Win in their opener against the Chinese side. Skokoche is fouled by Perez. Perez spent some time in the French second division with Troyes before moving back to Portugal to play in the top flight with Passos Ferreira for a couple of seasons. Joined the Sailors in July of 2023. That's the difference maker at the moment. Sadil Ramdani, the only goal of this match. Bailey Wright. Safwan Barodi. The overlap, running an option for Lestien. From the Sailors, number 17, is looking for another way out and finds it in the form of Perez. Here's Ramsala. Looking up with Costa on the left. Gonna stretch the pitch here. Now the Sailors. Not quite getting the decisions going their way. Julio Cesar, that's a great challenge, and it is a goal kick. It's a correct call from the referee. Well done to him. Syrian official Hana Hatab, who's handled things very nicely. Barba. Given away by Persib. Here's T. Ramsala. Costa. It's going to fall for Ndenge. Lestien. Safwan. Good run on the outside. Lovely ball in by Safwan. Could have been an own goal. Such a dangerous cross from Safwan Baharudin. And it's so tough as a defender in these situations as well. You're facing your own goal. Try and get clean contact on that. Cesar, brilliant once again. He's playing his football mostly in the second division of Portuguese league with Nacional before his move to Chiang Rai United. One who also had a couple of spells in Kuwait and Bahrain. So 2 changes for Persib Bandung here. Sadil Ramdani, the goal scorer, is off. And Berginho is one of those players who's come on. The exciting attacking talent that Persib have added to their squad for this campaign. To defend this ball in though. So Berg and Jung on for Persib. Drew Young, number 90. Big centre forward for Persib. Another target man sort of striker that they've brought on. Berg, as he's listed on the team sheet, it's Berginho. That's how he was introduced here at the ground by the stadium announcer. He's taking the contact from Safwan, winning the free kick. Fouls in this match. Expect that intensity to increase. The longer this goes on, as the Land City Sailors look to chase, start to gamble a little bit more. There's already been a change in their shape. 2 up front in T and Lopez. They search for a way back. Here's Young, 27-year-old centre forward, Andrew Young. Hailing from Miremont, down in northeastern France. Was a Stade Reims academy product, but never made the breakthrough there in the top flight. There's Berg. Great challenge from Safwan. Referee was well positioned to have a look at that. He saw absolutely nothing wrong with that tackle from Safwan Baharudin. Here's Lestien onto his left foot. Lestien with the effort, punched away by Paku Alam. Strange bit of goalkeeping from Paku Alam. Might be a little bit cold. He had a save to make. There's Berg, who stayed down. He's just come on. The force of that challenge from Safwan. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all from Safwan Baharudin. It's a hard challenge, but a fair one. the Singapore international. 28-year-old Berg signed in July on a 2-year deal from Borneo FC. 4 goals and 4 assists in 29 league appearances for Borneo last season. Most of his playing career was spent in the lower divisions of Brazilian football before his move to Indonesia. Berg, who picked up his first assist of the season against Persebaya, providing the assists for the winning goal that was scored by William Barros. Scored 3 goals in 4 Indonesia Super League appearances this season. Number 94 for Persib. Have to focus on this delivery coming up from Maxime Lestienne. Headed clear by Matricardi. Costa picks it up for the Singapore side. Dadkovic as he's cross-blocked. Ramsala. City Sailors having an excellent campaign last season, winning the Community Shield, the Singapore Premier League title and the Singapore Cup, going into the final of AFC Champions League Two, creating history for themselves and for Singapore football, being the first Singapore side to play in a continental final. Here's Ramsala. Good footwork from Ramsala. Sets it up for T. Good goalkeeping from Paku Alam. Big chance for the Lion City Sailors. Paku Alam, he saw the danger early. Credit to the goalkeeper. Rushing out to close off the angle for Leonard T. 31-year-old goalkeeper Paku Alam joined Persib in 2020 from Semen Padang. Was a regular in his first few seasons at the club. Made just 7 appearances in the league last season. A former Deportivo Indonesia player. Deportivo Indonesia was a project that had under 17 and under 19 players, Indonesian players, training and playing in the lower divisions of Uruguayan football. Interesting project. Look at Persib. The pass into the channel, but well read that run by Costa. It's getting in the way of the movement from Berg. Diogo Costa doesn't get too many goals, just has 1 for the Lion City Sailors since joining the club. He is a chance-creating machine, though. 13 assists in 25 appearances prior to this one for the Sailors. There's Lestienne. Almost over the head of Bailey Wright. He's able to touch it on. Datkovic there on the cover. Back into Susak. Ramsala. On to Costa. Picked up 4 assists in 7 AFC Champions League 2 appearances for the Lion City Sailors last season. Picked up the assist for Lestienne's goal in the final. Here is Maxime Lestienne. Forced to really slow it down here. It's wonderful organization off the ball from Persib. Sailors lacking ideas in possession. Perez. right. Costa. Went around Franz Boutros. Was cover in the end from Patricio Matricardi. Taken quickly into Ramsela. Was fouled, looked like he was fouled, right in front of the referee. Seemed to be bundled over by William Barros. It's quite right to ask that question, is Ramsela. The referee has allowed the game to flow. Just wants to make sure that the throw-in is taken from the correct position. There is Franz Boutros. 20 caps for Iraq, part of the squad at the last AFC Asian Cup. He's actually born in Aarhus in Denmark. Spent most of his career in the top 2 divisions before moving to Port FC to play in the Thai League. Spent 3 seasons there before moving to Persib. 8 shots in total. Persib adding just the 1 in this second half to the 4 that they managed in the first. That 1 goal enough to see them take the that 1 effort, sorry, enough to see them take the lead. Safwan. The right. Dengue. Ramsela. Probably done up to Lestien. Some space to work with and a chance to run at that Persib defense. Waits for support to arrive. Ramsela back into Lestien. Lovely link up. Ramsela looking for T. Ball still in the area. Ramsela. So deal with that. Possession will stay. The team in white. Safwan. Perez. Not a 4 against 3 situation here. Datkovic. Costa. Just to go on a little bit of a run, just to try and free up some space for his side. Lestien. Looked in, a good pace. Cesar there with the header, out for a throw-in. A lot of depth in that back line for this season. Cesar, Matricardi and Barba. Boutros, if required, also play in that position, as can Kakang Rudianto. He's been given minutes with Persib. Is Kakang, a young talent that's coming through. Through at this Persib Academy, part of the youth system, growing in importance. Starting the league matches this season at right back, Kakang Rudianto, Indonesia under 23 international. Not involved just yet in this contest. There's Lestien. Was poor from Reinders. Dropping in as a left back or a left wing back at times is Eliano Reinders. And Dengue. Perez. Oh, beautiful ball in from Perez. Just gets away from Lestien. Flag had gone up anyway. That's such a close call. VAR at this stage of the competition. So Lestien, who's loving life in Singapore with his family. 67 goals, 89 assists in 121 appearances for the Lion City Sailors since joining the club. This one is appearance number 122. Played for Club Brugge, the Belgian top flight. He's also played in Serie A with Genoa, Spain's La Liga with Malaga, the Dutch Eredivisie with PSV, and in Russia with Rubin Kazan. There's plenty of UEFA Europa League and UEFA Champions League experience. Finding it difficult to really make an impact on this match. He's that sort of player at times, Maxime Lestienne. Can be quiet for large stretches of fixtures before coming up with a big goal or a big assist. Dengue slides it in to Lopez. Not a bad ball in the box, only had Leonard D. Asked questions of his teammates there, Lopez. Where were the runs into the area? Berg firing up the crowd after going through Safwan, winning that throw-in. Two more changes coming up for Persib Bandung. Beckham Putra and Adam Ales getting ready to make an appearance. Waiting for the opportunity, the next stoppage to come on and try and help Persib see this one out. Lestienne loses his balance, well defended by Reinders. All the way back to Paku Alam. Lion City Sailors looking to press. Lopez picks it up. Another ball across the face of goal, and again support was slow to arrive. Berg. Goikachea still running, still driving through that midfield. Gets it out wide to Putros. Good ball in. Safwan there in front of Berg to head it out for a corner. He's going to need to come off as well, Safwan. So Beckham and Adam Ales. Beckham, this is known in this part of the world. He's coming on for William Barros, Beckham Putra. 23-year-old, wonderfully talented. Another player who's come through the Persib youth system. In his professional debut at 17, Beckham Putra. Adam Ales, a lot more experience, and Beckham Putra is Adam Ales, 31-year-old, 5 AFC Champions League 2 appearances last season. He's been a regular for the club, actually joining on loan in 2024 before making the move permanent this year. Another former Persija youth player, has also played for Bayangkara, Rima and Borneo as well. Hopefully not too happy what he's seen from Andrew Young. Ales, a very handy player to bring on, tidy in possession. Delivery from Hay, punched away by Susak. Reinders has to get to that, and he does. Perez. Dengue. Ramsala drops short. Picks it up under pressure from Putros. Hangs on to it, no problems. He's been very good for the Lion City Sailors as Bar Ramsala. Perhaps their best player in an attacking sense out on their pitch. Try and make things happen. Quick movement in between the lines. Costa trying to go around on the outside. His run was tracked by Beckham. That's one for D to chase, and he's won a corner. 23-year-old German forward Leonard D joined the Lion City Sailors in May of 2024 after 6 seasons in Dutch football. Julio Cesar, a painful one into the body. It's a well-timed run from Leonard D into the channel. Corner's been delivered. So 2 changes in that stoppage for the Lion City Sailors. Christopher Van Housen on for Safwan Barodin, who indicated that he needed to come off. So Van Housen, not a Singapore international, on in that right back position. Provides a different option for Lion City Sailors. A player who does enjoy getting forward. Decent delivery from wider areas. Shawal Anwar has also come on for the Lion City Sailors in place of Rui Pires. There's confirmation of those changes. Shawal Anwar, who was in top form for the Lion City Sailors in the AFC Champions League Two last season. Delivery from Lestien, punched well clear by Paku Alam. Safwan, who's off. Shawal Anwar, who's on with the goals that he scored last season. Seeing him finish as the second highest scorer in the competition. Good header, pushed away by Paku Alam. It's coming back to Leonard D, blocked by the goalkeeper again. It's Persib's turn to feel the pressure. Susak. Clears his lines. So this will start to get frustrating for the Lion City Sailors. Now as Persib to try and kill off the rhythm. Slow the game down at every opportunity. Persib almost there. There's Berg, away from Van Housen. Beckham. Bailey Wright, not messing about. Bailey Wright was strong. Very aggressive. Nice clean challenge on Beckham. Gets his side going forward. Lestien, the diagonal into Shawal. Ramsala. Right. Dengue. Persib stay unbeaten against the Lion City Sailors. draw in the first meeting, a 1-1 draw in the first meeting last season. A 3-2 win for Persib. And the return at Jalan Besar, and Persib can break forward for that second goal. Berg, he's in behind, it's Berg! And the pressure from Venhausen, and a good save from Susak. Keeps this alive for the Lion City Sailors. Late on, aside from Singapore, they have to push. Lestien. And again, no free kick for the Lion City Sailors. Leonard T looking at the officials. They will have a minimum of 5 minutes to try and find that equalizer, the Lion City Sailors. But it's more frustration for them as Andrew Jung goes down under that challenge from Ndenge. Jung, who's played in the lower divisions of French football, in the league there. He wasn't a prolific scorer at that level. Was playing in the Greek Super League, UEFA Crete, before his move to Persib at the end of August. Offside is the call. Sailors will want to get on with this quickly. A strong outing for Frans Boutros. His older brother, Sandy Boutros, is a referee in Denmark. There's Lopez. Lestien. Dangerous ball in, and they found their way back, the Lion City Sailors. Oh, drama at the end. Leonard D again with the goal. Scored at the weekend against Palestine in the Singapore Premier League. He scored here in AFC Champions League 2 action. There's Lestien with a delightful delivery once more. I said he could be quiet, and then he'll pop up with an important goal or an important assist. And there you go. Leonard T with a huge goal for last season's AFC Champions League 2 finalists. Well, he scored some big goals for the Sailors in this competition last season as well. Efforts against Sanfrecce and Sydney FC in the knockout stage. Just 3 goals, but they were crucial goals. Former German youth international Leonard T has come up with another important intervention here for the Lion City Sailors with that header. Really well finished. He's had to make do with appearances from off the bench, Leonard T. But he's showing his usefulness. This game is not done though. It's Hay. Still time for more drama. Boutros. Matricardi. Not a bad idea to touch. Spilled by Susak. Well, they should have had that handled. Danger not over. Berg! Saved again. Susak claws it away. Reinders. Berg. Persib looking for one more opportunity. Berg. Has gone for a desperate attempt at goal. And that scoop. This was the chance. Berg with the header. And you can't really complain about his effort because he was looking to place that and he almost found the way past Sousa. All 2 meters of Sousa at full stretch, keeping that one out. Might have asked some questions about whether he could have saved that first effort from Sadil Ramdani. Well, if there were any questions, any doubts about that, won't be any with that save from Berg. Song Young is on for Anderson Lopez. Sousa. That's right. The final whistle, more frustration for Persib against the Lion City Sailors at home. They were dominant in the first half, Persib. 4 attempts, 2 of those on target. Couldn't find a way through, but came out for this second half. Got the opening goal through Sadil Ramdani after a mistake from Toni Darkovic. And they were so close to hanging on to what would have been a great start to their AFC Champions League 2 campaign this season. But Leonard T getting the equalizer in added time for the Lion City Sailors to help his side take a point. Maxime Lestienne with a lovely cross into the box. Leonard T, who came on from off the bench, helping to change the game for the Lion City Sailors. A tough fixture away from home. They struggle at times to get going in attack, but they did enough in the end, the Lion City Sailors, to get the result on the road. Not a bad start in their campaign this season in this competition as well. A point on the road. Not too much you can complain about, especially seeing as how close they were to coming away with nothing from the Gelora Bandung Lautan Api Stadium. Final score is Persib 1, Lion City Sailors 1.